Okay. Okay. Recent episode of Speak On It. I had the pleasure of watching it early this morning before it was first privatized, and then the video has been subsequently removed from YouTube. When I watched that video, I was upset and angry. I have always been a fan of Kandi Burruss, way from the Escape days. And I was happy to see her on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But recently, comments and actions that Kandi has done has offended me greatly. And watching that recent episode of Speak On It with Courtney Rhodes, it really pissed me off. I am a registered nurse. I advocate for people with mental illness, and I advocate for children and adults that have Down syndrome. So we're going to go in order. I wrote down notes because I want to stay on track. I watched the entire video, and when I tell you Kandi is trash for that, she is really trash. It infuriated me so much that I've done a couple of shorts. Anyway, we're going to address Courtney Rhodes before we get to the inflammatory comments regarding Allison Drew Sidora's sister. So, Kandi currently is beefing with Drew Sidora. Why is she beefing? We have no idea why. We the people, meaning fans of Real Housewives of Atlanta, we have not witnessed or seen anything that Drew has done to Kandi to make Kandi dislike her so. Kandi has drawn out this 2-year-old storyline back when Porsha was on the show about Bolo, where Drew kissed LaToya. I don't understand why Kandi has such a hard-on to discuss or just make it known that Drew, in fact, admitted to kissing a female. Just like men can be gay for pay, the same can apply to women. Who knows? Drew may have been playing and just said that yes, she's kissed a woman before, because on Kandi's episode to Speak On It, she's shown several clips from Bravo from the reunion and that season back when Porsha was on, when they were in Charleston, South Carolina. Was it Charleston? I know it was in South Carolina, where Drew admitted to kissing a woman. But my thing is, so what? Why are you bringing it up now? Because none of the women had any storylines. So, in my opinion, Kandi is being PR for Bravo. They're trying to find a way to bring Courtney into the show, because at first, if you look at the video, it had on there when Courtney showed up with Bryce to Drew and in Ralph's home. The At the bottom, the tagline stated she was Sheree's friend, Drew's cousin. So we have conflicting ways of exactly how is Drew Ralph's cousin, because on Real Housewives of Atlanta, she stated that they're cousins through marriage, through a great aunt. Then the next thing was uh, they're cousins due to marriage. Then the third excuse given was she stated that they're cousins because and I wrote down the time mark at the 23-minute 29-second mark. This is what Courtney stated. We're black folks. When you meet somebody that grew up from the same night in the house that you grew up, and I'm not making that up, that's exactly how she said it. I had to rewind the show several times to try to decipher what she was saying, but she said, you're cousins. She said, say what you want. If you don't understand it, you did not grow up in a black family dynamic, in a traditional black family dynamic. I don't know any black family dynamic like that. Now, what I do know is you may have your mother is best friends with someone, your mother's best friends, you grow up with their kids. So we adopt people that way. There are play cousins, but blood relatives that there's cousins and so forth, and their family. She admitted that she recently met Ralph, or at least Kandi pointed that out. So not once, all this time, you've never met Drew, you've never met Ralph. She couldn't remember how many years they had been married. Kandi and Jamie had to point it out that Drew and Ralph have been married for 9 years, and they've dated for 13. I don't even believe Courtney is related to Ralph. Courtney might be the side chick. Because, baby, let me get my little notes because I'm on a tangent and I will jump all over the place. So first we are going to introduce Courtney. She said that she was a client. First she said Simon Gobadia was a client of hers. She worked in his office. She worked in an office with another lady that she eventually partnered with, and oh God, I can't remember the woman's name, but they became marketing agents. Both of the ladies worked in Simon's office. Then Courtney ended up leaving from Simon, going to Chicago. She didn't say what year she went to Chicago, but she went with her husband. So immediately in my mind, I'm saying, oh, so whomever she married, were they someone that was related to Ralph? But the only person that I know that is originally from Chicago is Drew Sidora herself. She's a native of Chicago. But anyway, she said she went to Chicago, she got divorced, she came back to it in Atlanta, and that's when they created the company. They're in crisis management. So I put up on here, I said, which one is it? Either you are a marketing agent or you're crisis management. Immediately, I think of crisis management. Of course, if somebody has bad publicity, this person is going to step in and help you rebuild and repair your image. So Courtney and Kandi, they discussed about how they met, how they, had that altercation where they blew up. And that Kandi kept saying, well, she didn't know her. But then further along in the conversation, Kandi admits that she does know her. Both Kandi and Courtney refused to disclose the name of the mutual friend that they have. But Kandi said she called her female friend and told her that this girl is going around saying that she knows her. So her friend, Candy's friend, said she'll ask her husband. So the husband was familiar with Courtney. So immediately, well, Courtney made the comment that there was a scandal, a huge scandal in Atlanta, and that her company was involved. So immediately, the first thing hit my mind is because they're being vague, they're avoiding saying names, but Candy is saying it's her female friend, and she had her friend reach, talk to her husband. Immediately, I thought of T.I. and Tiny because Courtney said it was the biggest scandal that had hit Atlanta. And you guys know that scandal that hit was back when Phaedra, well, right after Phaedra, but when, oh my God, I cannot remember that lady's name. But I think her name is Sabrina. Is it Sabrina? She was good friends with T.I. and Tiny. A couple of years ago, she got several women to come forward. They were going to file lawsuits because they accused T.I. of putting drugs in their drink and taking advantage of them sexually. This is back when Keisha Lance Bottom was still the mayor of Atlanta. So that's why one part of me, I said, well, is this T.I. and Tiny that they're talking about? But then moments later, Courtney said her friend owned a restaurant. Now we know Simon is involved in restaurants. And so immediately when she said that, I said it's that scandal with Porsha. So Porsha is definitely coming back. She is definitely. So they're trying to link everyone together to find a way for Porsha to come back in. So let me stay on track. Let me go back. So we're going to just keep that on your brain. So the only two major crises that occurred in Atlanta that Kandi is familiar with is the one with T.I. and Tiny and the one with Porsha and Simon Guobadia. Courtney has already, we already know that Courtney has a connection to Simon Guobadia. At least that's what she says, because she admitted she's known him for years before he was with Porsha. So keep that right there on the front burner. Well, then Kandi asked her, how would she feel? And I'm paraphrasing right now because I don't want to go through all these papers. But if she gets the opportunity to come back to Real Housewives of Atlanta, would she be showing, herself dating and so forth? And so that's when this nitwit Courtney says that she was recently divorced. So she's not dating. But she said her divorce was finalized in December of 2020. Baby, we are already in August 2023. So you've been divorced. So you have the opportunity to be dating somebody. You're just choosing not to date anyone. But then Courtney makes the comment that she think it's weird that people, meaning us, the fans of Roa, find it weird that she and Bryce, are co-parenting. My point of view is, as a fan, no, what we think is weird, Courtney, is that you came on a show as a friend called The Real Housewives of Atlanta, a housewives show. You came in as a friend, and when you came over to Drew house, you showed up with your baby daddy that you're not romantically linked to. You guys have no involvement. So you would have been better off just showing up over at Drew and Ralph's house without Bryce in tow, because there's no relationship. Her daughter is 25 years old. She's talking about her and Bryce co-parent, and they have to stay on her. Baby, let me tell you something about these 25 years old right about now. They're not listening to nobody. Because, honey, they barely want to listen to you when they're 18 or 19. And, honey, at 25, and she said her daughter already, she's a student at Syracuse University working on her third degree. Girl, that young lady ain't trying to listen to nobody. She is grown and she's in Syracuse. She is not trying to listen to you. So what we want to know is, you got a hard on for Kenya, talking about Kenya. Well, she didn't say Kenya's name, but she referenced that people are on the show have been on here many times with a fake relationship. And the reason that topic came up is because Kandi asked her about Marlo and Scott Lee. And she said, hold on just a second. Let me turn this over. So she said, now this was at the 20-minute, 16-second mark. She said, Marlo and Scott Lee, from what I've seen, I like it, but I haven't seen a lot of it. I don't know much about it off camera. Okay, you don't know about it off camera, so how can you speak about it? But baby, she had also made a comment. She's, she can tell when people are full of bullshit, basically, or telling a lie, or I'm paraphrasing this part right here. Like, she can smell out bullshit and she knows when somebody is inauthentic. Yet she can't tell that Marlo and Sheree are inauthentic. So this Courtney is a mess. And I'm gonna try to fast forward. I'm hurrying it up because I want to get to the part that really pisses me off. So Kandi's asking her questions. So then they get over here. We've already discussed the family relationship. But then she said that she's a big on women having a voice for themselves and believes in empowering women. However, she turns around at the same time and said Ralph told her Drew lies really bad. She lied on him for the past 8 years. But Drew's a good person. Get to know her. She'll ride for you. It was so much conflicting information up in this little Speak On It episode. It didn't make any sense. At one point, it made me feel like everybody is in cahoots with one another. Then they get to the part where Allison, so I'm skipping some of this stuff because I have to put my papers down because I can't keep reading papers, moving paper. I have to just speak from the heart. This is the part that pissed me off. When they were discussing the mental illness, because Kandi wanted to know if she and Allison had spoken. Now I'm paraphrasing it at the party. That doggone Courtney said no, she avoids her. She doesn't want to talk to her or get into it with somebody with mental illness. I mean, she was so dismissive of Allison's diagnosis. Then she said, the Kandi made the comment that she couldn't tell. You can't tell that the woman Allison has a mental illness. She thought Drew Sidora was making it up as a lie about her sister having mental illness. Courtney says that it was being used as a storyline. So Kandi says, well, that's what you're saying, not me. Then that doggone, the whole time that this whole Speak On It episode is going on, Courtney is looking around. She's shifty. She's not answering the questions that need to be answered. She's lying. Okay, calm down, misbehaving. Let's back on up to the mental illness part. Courtney sat up there She accused Drew Sidora of supplying her sister with alcohol on the set of filming Real Housewives of Atlanta at the scene for the reunion. You guys know in the trailer that we've been seeing where Allison goes up to the room, how they're in the dressing room getting ready for the reunion. She said that they had, and she said Drew, not they, she said Drew Sidora had her sister filling her up with tequila, getting her drunk, and then sent her in her room to attack her. She said she's giving her this tequila and she has a mental illness. Hello, not too long ago, it's been all over the internet as well as YouTube and in the news about lawsuits, Bravo being put on notice about people being fed alcohol on the set of Bravo and they're refusing to, preventing them from eating and people being unstable and having mental illness. But that's why, in my honest opinion, why Kandi privated that video and now the video was removed. Because I know for a fact that that video was private. I watched it this morning. I was up early, baby. I had watched it maybe about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. By 8 a.m., that video was privated. That video was privated. And it may have been privated between 7:30 and 8 a.m. And then now when you go, you cannot find it. I believe Bravo reached out to Kandi and told her to pull that daggone video down up off of YouTube. Because I cannot see Jamie not realizing that the comments that was up in that speak on it were inflammatory. Then let's get to the mental illness. Mental illness has no look. There are people walking around every day that have not been diagnosed with mental illness. They don't even know yet. People cope with depression, anxiety, impulsive, explosive disorder, psychosis, schizophrenia, bipolar, and they haven't even been diagnosed yet. But they cope with life, trauma, what's stressors, what's ever bothering them. They use drugs, alcohol, food, sex. So that was the ignorantest stuff I had ever heard. Not once did she address Kandi. What's up, Ty Spring? Thank you for coming in. Please hit the like. If you're afraid to drop down in the chat, don't be afraid. Just hit the like, share the video. Everybody's opinion matters. It can be different from mine. I do not hate Kandi Burruss. I like her, but I have noticed that all of these celebrities, when they start off, whether they're a celebrity, a pseudo celebrity, just starting out, a Bravo reality star, when they start off nice and sweet. But as soon as they start making money, they start developing a large fan base, and they become famous or infamous, their whole demeanor and attitude changes. But we're going to backtrack and get back over here to Courtney making these inflammatory comments. But she never addressed any comments that Kenya Moore made on that interview with Carlos King about her being homeless. Not once did she say where she was living. She didn't even, her company, you guys, her jewelry company has only been, she admitted, she started the jewelry company a year ago. She admitted that. What else did she do? We're going to get to Kandi lying. So Kandi has prided herself for years on saying she doesn't lie. And us as fans, we've always said that if Kandi said it's true. But baby, Kandi said she didn't know the lady, but then later on, let me find the minute mark. I think it was at the 11-minute mark, because it was early in the video where Kandi admitted that she knew her, because once she showed up at Ross' birthday party, she's recognized Courtney, she said she recognized Courtney. So she didn't think Courtney was coming at her. She thought Courtney was about to be beefing with someone else. So when Courtney snapped off at her, that's when they got into it. So Kandi already knows her. If you ask me, this is my opinion. They she is Marlo, she's on set. She's Marlo's crisis manager because you guys know that she's trying to help her expunge her record. Marlo needs a handler on set for her. What you say, Tide Spring? You said I like Kandi for the most part. However, she is a human, and her always presenting as an angel has me side-eyeing Kandi more recently. Exactly, Tide Spring. That's me. That's what I'm saying too. Like, I mean, we all have good and bad days. Nobody's perfect. Every day you make mistakes, but it's rubbing me the wrong way how she's dogging Drew. And I didn't like Drew when she first came on the show at all because Drew was doing too much to fit in. Now I'm a member of Team Twirl. I'll get on Kenya because Kenya will do some stupid stuff and has said some stupid things. But I didn't like Drew. Then once Porsha left, had Porsha not snatched up Simon Gobadia, and you had that big scandal with them sleeping together, and a lot of Porsha's fans were turned off by that behavior. Porsha had a bad image at that time. It is my firm belief that all of this has been orchestrated for Porsha to just step away for 2 years so her image, the her image can be repaired. Like, with time, people forget everything. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you're going to always come back, Porsha. We're going to bring you back. So that's why I'm saying, like, my mind is all over the place when I was watching that speak on it. I'm like, they're all in cahoots some kind of way. All of them, because we know Drew Sidora is still friends with Porsha. In fact, I don't know if she still is an ambassador, but Drew Sidora was an ambassador for Porsha's Go Naked Hair. So they still have that friendship right there. So then, if now that Drew and Courtney, so let's get to Courtney. Courtney claims that she's Drew's cousin, but until we see DNA testing, blood work, birth certificate, and meet their family, I believe she's the side chick from Tampa. But let's go with the make-believe story that Courtney is Ralph's cousin. How is this going to work that Courtney and Drew are beefing, but Courtney is familiar with Simon and she used to work for Simon? He used to be one of her clients and then she left. So how is that going to work? Because I would think her and Simon would still be friendly. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know where the storyline is going to go at all. But we know she likes Marlo. So we know her and Marlo aren't beefing. We know her and Sheree aren't beefing. But during this speak on it, I mean, she wasn't talking greasy, but the comment about people having fake boyfriends, that could apply to Sheree as well. But she said let me back that up. I don't think so, because on that speak on it, she did mention that she was not the one that released the information about Martell Hope not paying for Sheree's birthday party. In fact, Courtney was complimentary to Martell. She said when he asked people for their cash app, it was as a joke. It was a joke. And one of Sheree's friends was the one that paid for the meal. So Kandi had made the comment, yeah, she worried about us over here talking, but it's somebody in her own camp, that's telling her business, or talking about her man. So At one point, Courtney referred to Kenya Moore as being a mean girl. Kandi didn't interject, and she did not say no, she's not a mean girl. She didn't say anything at all, but Kandi did say people are allowed to come on, speak on it, and speak freely. But Courtney kept telling Kandi, yeah, I know that's your friend, and and so forth. Like, Courtney is a whole kiss ass. Y'all, they trying to play in our face. They're all in cahoots together. And Kenya, my girl Kenya, I don't know if we have any Team Twirl up in here, but baby, Kenya not coming back. That's why she let shit out the bag. She just went ahead and popped her shit on Carlos King channel in that interview because she see it all, and that is dirty. I have not had the chance to see the final episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, because when I got off work last night, I fell asleep. I started watching it. All I saw was the tail end, how dirty they did our girl. They used her damn soft opening of her salon as as a cliff note, like, to be continued. If it weren't for Drew and Ralph filing for divorce, I mean, the season was a shit show the whole season. It wasn't worth shit. And the only interesting thing you found out is about them divorcing. But Ralph ass is acting too. But I'm telling y'all, they're all in cahoots together. I don't know, but I think it's shitty that at the time when this filming was going on, Drew Sidora's father was ill. We all have since learned that her father passed away from Alzheimer's recently. And that's something else that eats at me about Kandi. Even with you knowing that her father died, you will still air this shit with Courtney, and then your fixation on her kissing. So what? If she kissed, she didn't kiss. So what? Kandi mad because for years the fans of Real Housewives of Atlanta, we've always talked about her being the freak elite, a wild freak that'll do with anybody and everybody. Now she want to put somebody else out there on Front Street. Leave Drew Sidora alone. That dog on Ralph Pittman, excuse my language, it's too early in the day, but late at night I'd say some choice words. But in the words of Glorilla, baby, we trying to be F ninjas free. Okay, we trying to be F ninja free, and that's what Ralph is, a F ninja. That man, looking at him on what I saw on Real Housewives of Atlanta, he does not like Drew. He can't stand her. I knew he didn't want her back. What was it? The 2 years ago, the last time when Porsha was on was it when Porsha was on the show? No, it was the following year when he said he didn't want to adopt her son. When he said that, I knew he didn't want to be with her. But how you go ahead, did he have the audacity to go ahead and write a book on her son? Like, Drew is beautiful, but Drew, respectfully, you are a pick-me. That man does not want you. He does not like you. What you say, Ty Spring? Kandi's energy on Speak On It gave me, we know each other. Thank you, baby. Thank you. We know each other. Kandi brought this. Honey, I'm finna highlight this. Look, I'm trying to learn how to do this daggone StreamYard because I'm a new content creator. But hold on. There we go. Kandi's energy on Speak On It gave, we know each other. Kandi brought this girl on the show, then tried to deny her. Remember Marlon? Yes. Yes. Yes, Tice. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They all in cahoots some kind of way. But is there something behind the scenes that we haven't seen? Like, we don't know. What is her beef with Drew? What is Kandi's beef with Drew? It is not that serious. She's forgiven. Porsha has done worse than Drew. And Drew denying that she didn't kiss anybody Cause somebody called you a liar, you gonna get that bitter? I'm telling y'all, Todd got a crush on Drew. Todd, because that's the only thing that'll make a woman that mad. Your man interested in somebody else. Because I can't understand the disdain. And it was petty to have Courtney on there. But this ties up some things that have been said for years. Kandi has the nickname Candy Cruz. Because you guys know Terry Crews. He'll shuck and jive for anybody for $1. So that's why it shout out to Michelle ATL Brown, because she's the one where I heard that name Candy Cruz, where Kandi will sell out everybody so she can make money and do stuff that'll benefit her and Todd's production company. As long as they're able to make money. Hold on. Let me highlight this, Ty Spring. Let me highlight this, baby. Yes, I agree with you. Ralph was encouraging the biological dad to be involved because he knew. That's right. He sure was. He knew it. They didn't played Paul Drew Sidora. If I was Drew Sidora, I wouldn't come back. Because if Drew Sidora doesn't come back, there's no way to make any of this justifiable. Because who is Kandi coming back to beef with? Sheree? Baby, Sheree is desperate for that check. Sheree is gonna scratch somebody's eyes out, okay? She knows this is the end of the road. And who was that? Boys to Men. Although we go to the end of the road. Sheree know this is the end of the road for her. So she better show up and show out. She needs somebody to beef with. Because Sheree's not gonna bring anything from her home life or her past to the forefront. But anyway, what was the other thing? Let me get over here to my other page because I'm trying to see what else. I think, but really, what it was, they closed up with the mental illness, and in closing, it was with Drew, kissing women, her allegedly being a liar, but Courtney is the mouthpiece for Drew. And then at one point she made a comment. What mark was that? She said 2 years ago what he does. Today. Hold on. Kandi upset. Hold on. Too giddy to tear her down. Let's see. She said, I can tell when someone is full of shit. Versus, okay. I was believing for it. I'm trying to see my little note, y'all. Please bear with me. I can't even find my little paper. See? I got so many daggone papers up over here because I want to give y'all the minute mark. So if she ever puts that video back up, y'all can go to it. Because they're going to edit some stuff up out of that video. Because though it was inflammatory comments, stuff. Because if the woman has mental illness and she was drunk and you know that she was being supplied with alcohol, why would they go ahead and willingly record that and air it on television? I can't find the daggone paper, y'all. I am so sorry. 33, bringing up about... Oh, okay. So, okay, this is the minute mark. It's at the 44-minute, 46-second mark is when Courtney made the comment, she's a better friend to Ralph than Drew was to him as a wife. I thought y'all was cousins. That's we the fans, we're smarter than that. And we know they're not related. He's been cheating. They're all in cahoots. They're finding a way to bring people back on the show. But Drew Sidora, honey, if anybody know Drew Sidora, do not hear. Let me highlight you. Ty Spring, Drew should come back with the guidance of her mom and sister, unlike Porsha and Sheree. Drew should show us her downsizing after her divorce. She should avoid filming with Ralph. The only way I would say, Ty Spring, that Drew should come back to the show is for a hefty pay raise because they're all gunning for her. Marlo doesn't like her. Sheree doesn't like her. Sanya doesn't like her. Now, uh, Kandi doesn't like her. They're trying to make Drew Sidora the new Kenya. Because if you all think about it, think back when they brought on, oh my God, remember when they brought on Ronnie DeVoe's wife? Remember when they brought on Ronnie DeVoe's wife? She was going to be the, like the younger version of Kandi because she's R&B singer. Then Marlo was doing the fashions and they brought on who else was supposed to be doing the fashion? Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold on, I didn't have a brain freeze. I need somebody to help me. I need somebody to help me. It was that season. Marlo was doing the fashions. So you had Nene was there that season. So Porsha was going to be the younger version of Nene to replace Nene. Oh, Eva Marcel was on the show too. Eva Marcel was going to replace Cynthia. Then you had is her name Shamari? Drew Ronnie DeVoe's wife. She was a fun girl, a fun time. She was gonna be the younger Kandi. And I can't remember. Let's see, Cynthia Bailey versus Eva Marcel. Kandi versus Shamari. Huh. Here, I'm going to highlight you. Tide Spring. Yes, she should demand a high pay raise like Kenya. I hope Drew saves her bag money. Exactly. Exactly. hmm I agree with you. The only way she should come back is for a hefty pay raise because without her, without Drew Sidora, nobody's storyline is going to make sense at all. We're going to have another season of there's no completion to a storyline. There's no discovery, like they're not showing us how each person relates or how they connect and how they got here. I think what that fourth wall, what messed it up, and I'm sorry, I know it's some Porsha fans here. I don't dislike Porsha. Porsha is a fun girl. She's a beautiful girl, but she's a dense girl. But Porsha secured the bag. I ain't mad at her, because if you got to sleep with somebody ugly with a big gut, let it be somebody with a big gut and a big bag, okay? Big bag, big bag. Shout out to Peach McIntyre. That's her phrase. But anyway, Porsha messed around and, well, hell, if y'all think about it, shoot, this conspiracy theory goes deep. For this Real Housewives of Atlanta. Is this a scheme that Ty set up to come to us with the bullshit? Because now, y'all, if you go back, was this in the making all along? Because y'all know, Lord have mercy. I'm sorry. The reason I got quiet and just paused just now, because I just got to thinking about something. So now all of a sudden, Fallon is no longer with Jalen. Ooh, that'd be messy. That would be messy to bring her on there. But I think if they're bringing Porsha back, they're not going to bring her because that would just turn the fans off. Because that would remind us of what Porsha did. And right now, Porsha's popularity and her image has improved. So they're not going to do that. Oh, Lord, I was on here for 45 minutes. But I'm upset with Kandi. For Allison, I'm upset with Kandi for defending Ralph and bashing Drew. Kandi Burruss is male identified. I don't know if she's not like that. Hold on, let me highlight you. Porsha's not dense. She is an effective she effective covert narcissist. Okay, Ty. Well, she planned it perfectly because now you got what's that girl Fallon up here talking about? That's what she missed. She missed the money, baby. You messed that bag up going to sleep with the daggone pool boy. Shoot, if you ask me, I think Simon, Fallon, and Jalen, you can't, baby. They were a trouble. They were a trouble. Then when man, and then when Porsha came over there, Simon saw that wagon that Porsha was dragging, and baby, he wanted a piece of them cake. But if you see her interactions, Portia's interaction with him, even then it seemed as if they knew each other. But baby, y'all know when Porsha get that brown liquor up in her, baby, she's a fun time, baby. And I bet they probably had them a little threesome. Porsha, allegedly. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm trying to come and I'm just speculating at the moment. But I believe Porsha, Simon, and what's that child name? Fallon. They had a threesome. Baby, Porsha put that Georgia peach up on Simon, and baby, he wasn't going backwards, okay? Because Simon knew that Fallon was sleeping with Jalen, and he had fun with Porsha, and Porsha put it on him. It gave him something he could feel, and let her bands be known. He gotta move on and let Fallon go. But baby, now she over there struggling, sleeping and having sex with washed up R&B singers. Isn't that horrible? Bless her heart, poor thing. But anyway, enough of them. Let's get back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. So baby, we need to do a deep dive, baby. But I know one thing. Drew Sidora, our condolences are with you concerning your father. It's time for you to let that Chicago native spirit out, baby. You better blow everything down like the Windy City and represent. There's no need to be nice and cute. You just speak your mind and tell it like it is. Because with that little clip we saw of your sister Allison, it looked like Allison and Knuck a buck. Baby, it looked like she'll knuck and she'll buck. But don't come back unless you get a hefty pay raise. Teen twirl. I'm sad. But our girl Kenya Moore isn't coming back. And Kenya Moore, if you are listening, I know this is just wishful thinking on my part, but Kenya Moore, if you are listening, baby, don't come back. They never appreciated you over there on Roa. We're looking for you to do greater and better things, and it's terrible the way that they did you this season. Even if you were acting a fool, because the accusations are that you cursed out production. We would have loved to seen that, so why didn't they show it? But anyway, I want to thank each and every person that stopped by. I'm new to this. Here, let me see, babe. Let me see. You say Porsha always wed to be a rich and looked at. Do you know what? I ain't fooling with you. I ain't fooling with you, Ties Free, because I don't want to offend nobody in the LGBTQIA community. But baby, my thing is, I remember when I was younger, I used to say, hell, I'd date a gay man if he need a beer, because as long as he keep me dressed fabulous and I can go shopping nonstop, I ain't got to have sex with him. Here, let's see. Let me see what you said about Kenya. Yes, now that Kenya's brand is better. Yeah, yes, you are absolutely correct. It's time to go. And her house is paid for. She has her daughter. She has her hair care line. Now she has the salon. I think she should move on. So I hope that whether it's Carlos or maybe we can find out, maybe they can do a show or something. But yeah, it's time for Kenya to go ahead and leave. Don't stay there. But anyway, I want to thank you all for coming in. Hit like, share. You have a beautiful, blessed day. And to the people that were leaving negative comments on my short video for Kandi, it's all good. Everybody opinions matter. And as I've said in the past, whether it's one person in my chat, 100 or 1,000, Each person is appreciated, and I want to thank you for stopping by. Have a beautiful day.